Hello everyone, welcome to the 5 Minutes PM podcast. Today I'd like to share with you 3 success factors of the procurement process. A lot of people misunderstand the concept behind the procurement process. When you do a procurement process, you are something like outsourcing a piece of your project scope. The scope is something that you need to do. The procurement process is something that you want that someone else does for you. It could be a service, it could be a product, it could be a project component, but it's very, very important that you understand that do the procurement process is not going to the supermarket where you go and you see on the shelves what you want, you just grab and pay. It's not simple like that. You need to understand first the reasons why we buy. We can buy because it's cheaper to buy than to produce. We can buy because we don't have the knowledge on the product. We don't have the knowledge to produce that piece of the product, so we decided to outsource. And this will drive me to the first success factor. You need to look for knowledge about what you are going to buy. Because most of the people, they decided to buy because they don't know exactly what they need. So then you start looking for someone with the knowledge to do that. But it's very important that you and not your supplier understand the minimum requirements of what you're buying, because otherwise you can be easily manipulated in the procurement process. So if you don't know how to study and how to understand this better, it's very nice, and I did this many times, that you hire someone as a consultant, as an advisor to support you in the procurement process. Someone with no conflict of interest, someone that does not belong to the supplier, but to give you the advice on what you need to buy. So it's exactly, you need to look for the knowledge about what you are going to buy. The second one, it's to understand the total cost of ownership. Why? This is a very important success factor. Because sometimes what is the cheapest product, it's potentially the most expensive product. You need to understand that when you buy something, you are not just buying the product. Maybe you're buying a cheaper product, but it will increase your maintenance cost. You are buying a cheaper product, but the installation cost is very high. You are buying a cheap service, but the damage that they will do is dramatic, and then you need to spend much more. So you need to understand the total cost of ownership and not just the cost of your purchase. Because most of the time, when you are taking the bids and deciding, you just consider the price. Okay, this is charging me $10, this is charging me $5, so I will go for the $5 because it's cheaper. Okay, you need to understand that this is fair when you are comparing the total cost of ownership. But if you're comparing just the price of one project component, you need to understand, okay, how much does it cost to integrate this component to my network, to the works I currently have? Maybe when you do this, it will be an extremely high price. So you need to understand this. And the third one is that you need to link payment to project events. Let's suppose you are buying bricks. You need to understand that your intent is not to buy bricks. Your project is not to buy bricks. Your project is to build a house. So how you can incorporate the delivery of these bricks to building walls? It's very, very important, because if you link the payment event to your project events, you will have your supplier as a partner to deliver the project and not as someone that, okay, I did my job, I want the money. So if you incorporate in the procurement process, in the bidding process, that you need your supplier to be more engaged, maybe this cost will be a little bit higher, but you are buying the commitment of the supplier. So maybe this a little bit amount of money that you are spending more on the procurement process, you will save dramatically when you are executing the project. So you need to understand that if you link the payments, you increase the chance of success. If you unlink the payments, then you have a supplier like a supermarket cashier. I give you the product, you give me the money, and there is no commitment at all of delivering the product. It's very, very important to discuss this, because most of the projects today are using a very big chunk of suppliers. So if you don't understand this, if you don't want to understand these three concepts, your project will be driven to fail. So it's very, very important to understand this. I hope you enjoy this podcast. See you next week with another 5 Minutes PM podcast.